Welcome to another episode of the Maladjusted Monkeys. I'm Tommy Archer, joined always by my co-host. Men want to be him, and women wish he'd just stop sending him dick pics. It's Mr. Shane Klopp.
Thank you, Tommy. I've always loved your intros.
Oh, well, that's good, mate. That's why I do it. It's for the love of that. Mate, it has been, I'm going to say, 6 or 7 months since we've done this.
Yeah, mate. Long overdue.
And I haven't seen you in person maybe 4 or 5 months as well. We pretty much haven't really kept in contact for a little bit now.
Yeah, we both kind of dropped off the radar for a bit.
Well, yeah, mate. Like, it's 2019 now, 2018. What the fuck was that all about? That ended horrifically for both of us.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, I do know what happened. I think we both got a bit caught up in our own shit for a while there, and
yeah. Like, we may as well just dive right into it.
Yeah.
Like we said, it's been 6-7 months since the last podcast. For me, I know why I've been, I haven't really kept in contact with you. I apologise for that. Why I haven't really wanted to do another episode. Went through a separation with my wife about 4 or 5 months ago. Obviously, that took its toll. Hard getting through that. The black dog hit again during that period. Really tried to distract myself with work. A few things fell through for me on that front as well.
Yeah.
And just basically hit a burnout phase in my personal life and in my job. So that's kind of what's kept me
Yeah,
off the radar.
well, even, I think it might have been a month ago, getting a message from you and then a quick phone call just saying, the burnout you were feeling at work and a couple of things that had happened, and I didn't, being caught up in my own stuff, I didn't really want to press you too hard or about what was going on with you, because obviously there's so much going on there, but no, we definitely should have made a bit more of an effort.
Yeah, sorry, mate. Sorry, I kind of, every time you called, I was like, fuck this guy, I'm not answering right now.
No, I felt exactly the same way, and I suppose for myself, just more of the same, really. But really came ahead with my drinking. At the end of this year,
which you only just revealed to me in like the last couple of days.
Yeah,
really.
well, to everyone, really.
But
we can get into that a bit.
We'll get into all that. Let's keep
Yeah.
it light for a minute, because I haven't seen you in so
I
fucking long.
know. I'm been really looking forward to this episode because we haven't talked that much. I'm quite interested to see what has been going on with you. And
Oh, that's nice that you're genuinely interested.
Yeah, mate.
Well, like, to set the picture, it's it's
God.
12:15 in the morning. We're at Shane's house in his pseudo living room that we've turned into another recording studio. He's in his pajamas.
Well, it's always been a studio to me, mate. It just hasn't been utilised.
Yeah, well, now you're an actual artist. He's in his one-piece. What is it? That's a onesie, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a
pajamas.
onesie, mate, yeah.
I'm in my Hawaiian
Yeah, this
shirt.
is one of many onesies that I own.
I have seen you in a onesie.
Yeah.
Also in the room, your hockey gear, which I assume is a new hobby.
I don't. Is it still a hobby if you haven't started it yet?
Oh no, there's a massive bag full of shit over there.
Yeah, one of the boys at work actually gave me a whole heap of his secondhand stuff, which saved me about $4,000.
Holy fuck!
Yeah, man, it's an expensive fucking hobby.
So that's a sport you've taken up, because you've never been a sporting guy.
No, and to be honest, mate, I've only ice skated about 4 times and not great. So
you're doing ice hockey?
I want to, yeah.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to get started in it, but yeah, again, just all this other shit that's been happening, it's a bit like, well, I don't even want to get off the couch, let alone fucking organise to join a team, and yeah.
And we know what you're like with being social and everything, so it's a little bit hard when you've got to be on a team and participate with people.
Yeah, it's sober as well. I can't imagine alcohol and ice and sharpened blades on your feet go really well together.
Well, it's weird because we're recording an episode. Normally we record with a couple of rums and beers, but we're both drinking.
Sans alcohol.
Yeah, this is our 3rd or 4th cup of coffee tonight, because we've spent the last 2 hours trying to sort out some technical difficulties. But mate, we've just had Christmas. What did you do over Chrissy?
Went home for a week. It was about
Back to Maryborough.
Harvey Bay.
Harvey Bay, yeah.
All the families ended up going down to Harvey Bay and staying at different hotels and whatnot. And what a pain in the ass just having to get around to each different family each day. So there's like 3 or 4 different stops. You can't relax.
Yeah.
It was good to see everyone, but not doing that again. I think I'm just going to go to Fraser Island next year, and anyone who wants to see me can come.
Mate, I can't imagine that list being too long, but mate, I'll shoot you a text.
Yeah, cheers. Appreciate it.
Oh, mate. Well, fuck. Let's.
What about yourself? What did you?
Yeah. Well, mate, not too much. Like, stayed in Ipswich, Ipswich area. Had Christmas Eve with Boston and Carly, and then did Christmas Day because Boston's 2 now.
Yeah.
So he's starting to understand the concept of Christmas and Santa, and just did the Christmas Day thing.
Actually, I saw on Facebook you were doing your annual.
Oh yes, Die Hard is a tradition that's been in my life since I was about 6.
I really like the matching outfits, the wife beaters, and
Well, that's our family Christmas sweaters. Is
I like it.
wear the wife beaters because John McClane does, and I've been watching that like Christmas ever since I was about 6. So I'm trying to introduce that to Boston, but I'm a responsible parent, so I strictly don't let him see anything past the first 3-4 minutes.
What? Just pick them off to bed?
Yeah, go righto, mate. You've seen enough. Happy ending. Yeah, he goes. Yep, he gets off the plane. That's it.
Yeah.
He gets off in LA.
Oh, what a
that's
fairy
it.
tale.
Yeah, exactly. Nothing else to see here. As he gets older, we'll introduce him to it.
Yeah,
It's,
slowly but surely.
but surely.
Did you do anything for New Year's? Did you? I can't imagine you would have went out, or you probably would have been working.
Mate, this is the first New Year's Eve that I actually wasn't working in a while, I think. So
Yeah.
I worked in the morning, but I don't. New Year's, I don't care, mate.
Yeah, I was in bed by 9:30.
Yeah, like you see a firework once when you're 7, and you're like, oh yeah, and then you see it when you're 8, 9. It's the
Yeah.
exact same fucking thing.
Yeah, and oh my god, I couldn't imagine. Like, I remember going to the city for New Year's
Yep.
previously, and holy shit, I don't know how people still do that. Like, it's a fucking, that's a mess.
Well, that's always the thing. Everyone goes, yeah, let's go out New Year's, and it's never what you think it's going to be.
No.
It always ends up just
Tears.
Yeah, it's tears,
Bulk
exactly.
tears.
Yeah, and let's be honest, we can do that at home in the shower, which is what you and me do. Okay, so
Huddled around a bowl of ice cream. Yeah.
I'm not going to spend $250 and dress up when I can just do that in the shower.
Yeah, true,
Okay.
true. I like it.
Well, we may as well talk about what's been going on in the last 6-7 months. Where to begin, really?
Yeah. Well, I reckon let's start with yourself. It's probably more interesting than my bullshit. But yeah.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
like, I remember getting a text from you. I think it would have been a month ago, and we had a brief. I had a brief phone call with you, and you didn't go into any details or anything really. But yeah, essentially, I think you were saying you were starting to get a bit of burnout. And I think you had a bit of leave.
Yeah.
So what was happening there?
Well, like, again, I won't go into too much detail about
obviously.
everything that's happened, but
Yeah.
after the separation, then the next thing I kind of did was go, fuck, alright, I feel like I'm getting really depressed. I need to distract myself with something else, and there was a specialist role within the job that was coming up that I've been wanting to go for ages. So I just put everything into that, every bit of energy into training for it and get ready and interviewing for it. And so I got real close, thought I was getting a position. I was real confident in myself. That's all I focused on. And then, in the final hour, found out didn't get the position. Which was just another punch in the dick at that time. After I tried to refocus on something else.
So there was a lot of people going for it, was there?
Yeah, there was a whole lot of people that went for it, and then there was only a small group of us that got.
So you did make it pretty much the whole way, and it was down to the final few candidates.
I won't go into too much detail what the role was or what it is exactly.
Yeah, fair
but it came down to a small group of us, and then you interview and do everything, and then. It wasn't to be at the time, and in my mind, I was like, "Nah, you got to get this because you need something else to do right now." And it's something I've wanted to get into that role for years, and I thought timing's perfect. With everything going on in my life, there's like a sign that this is what I'm meant to do. It couldn't have been timed perfectly.
Yeah.
And then life just went, I'm going to kick you in the dick, and you can stay down, mate. So that's what happened. And then when that kind of fell through, I got a little bit lost for a moment. I went, shit, okay, I need to distract myself with something else, and being police officer, I'm basically a first response role.
But you were still filling that with work.
Yeah, still filling it with work. I don't know what quality the work was, but I was like, I've got to kind of keep myself busy.
Yeah. So is that just to kind of stop yourself from overthinking, or?
Yeah, because with the other stuff going on with my personal life, it was just too painful to think about.
Yeah.
And, hate sitting at home thinking about it. So again, like we do in the army, go, fuck, right, what's the next objective? What's the next thing I can keep busy with?
Yeah.
So I just, focused on work. Like I said, I'm in a first response role, and I kind of like chasing those adrenaline jobs.
Yep.
That's kind of what's been bred into us the last 10 years with everything we've done. So I think I kept myself distracted by chasing that kind of stuff to...
Metaphorically and literally.
Yes, exactly. Until maybe, it got a little bit too much, and just found myself hitting a wall and crashing mentally, which for me, I've never really felt like that before. Almost like pretty much like a panic attack at one point.
Okay.
Yeah.
So was it like anxiety of going to work, or was it like just you fatigued?
Probably a bit of everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, not anxious going to work, but like I'd be at work, and like I said, there's certain jobs I'd gravitate towards there'd be heightened adrenaline and stuff like that. So I'd be trying to chase that feeling all the time, but I guess there's only so much you can do to your body.
Yeah.
Overloading it with
adrenaline.
Where one of my shifts, it was just a busy shift, and I just felt exhausted, like, and mentally drained, and just didn't want to finish the shift.
So how long ago was this point? Like,
mate, no, we're talking weeks ago, really.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, which I think after that, I think I took just under 2 weeks off just to clear my head. Spend time with my son.
Yeah.
Kept going to the my psychologist that I speak to, and she basically just said, with everything going on in your life, I think you've overloaded. Your mind's a bucket, and you've just overloaded it because there's just so much going on. You're trying to juggle a few things, and you're basically pushing your body just a little bit too far at the moment. You just need to calm yourself down and regroup. Yeah. So that's kind of what I've done the last couple of weeks now.
So how have you been doing that? Like, have you found things outside of work that you've been able to do, or?
So got back into jiu-jitsu and mixed martial arts.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, for me, I'll enjoy that for fitness, and you're always learning something. Yoga and meditation. That's,
right.
You're looking at me like, fucking right. But
how did that go for you?
Well, the first part is the flexibility is the thing I'm worried about. But it's funny because my sister, and I love you, Nikita. I love you to death. We're two completely different people. Anyone who knows me, I'm a certain type of person. I'm a certain type of bloke. My sister is the complete opposite. Very, very spiritual and things like that. When I told her I was taking some time off, she told me, my boyfriend, he runs a yoga and meditation studio in West End. Okay. I actually hadn't met him yet, so I was like, okay. And she said, look, I think...
So the first time you're going to meet a boyfriend was going into his studio to be guided in meditation?
Yes, his dojo, if you will.
Oh, okay.
It basically was. So she invited me down there, and really nice bloke.
Mm-hmm.
He's exactly... If I said to you, Shane, I'm going to go speak to, or go see a bloke who lives in West End and runs a yoga meditation studio, how would you picture that bloke to look?
I'm picturing man bun, probably not wearing shoes, some silky pants, and a very loose-fitting shirt with a deep V.
Pretty much spot on, mate.
Yes.
Pretty much. No man bun, but pretty much spot on.
Oh, really? No man bun?
And I say this from a place of love. Okay, he's such a nice guy.
Oh, look, let's be honest, if I could get away with it at work, I'd have a man bun as well.
Yeah, exactly. But mate, met him and basically did, and I think it was an hour and a half all up. And This was the time of that week I was fucking stressed. Like, just felt anxious all the time. Like, wake up anxious all day, go to sleep, couldn't sleep, anxious. So when I got there, I was like, what are we gonna do to like stretch a bit? Like, I don't see what that's really gonna do, but like preoccupy my mind for like an hour and a half or whatever. So I think the first hour was all yoga, so a lot of stretching and different poses.
I've heard that that's actually like quite not painful, but it's actually
it's strenuous.
Quite hard. Yeah, strenuous.
I was fucking sweating. And
really?
Like, certain poses, because I'm not very flexible, I was straining. I was like, fuck, this is hard. Like a lot of like bridges basically.
Yeah.
Like my core was burnt out. And then the last half hour, we went into like the meditation phase, I guess, so it's just me, my sister, and him in his studio.
Yeah. So, does he normally run them as a class? Like,
I think he does classes.
Yeah.
But I arranged for my sister, so it was just me, him, and her. So it was like a darkened kind of room, and then the last pose, we're basically on our back, got us to close our eyes, and he has a very soothing voice. Might I add?
Bob Rossian or?
Ooh, yeah, almost Bob Rossian.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, exactly. So we're laying there and it moves into the meditation phase, which I'm always been skeptical.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to pay anyone for me to nap at their house. You know what I mean? To me, that's what it is. It's, you light some candles, you nap at your house. And so we lay down, got eyes closed, and I think the first part is like, I could hear him say, I'm going to come around with some eye pillows now, and if you object,
Some
please
eye pillows?
raise your hand. And I was like, eye pillows, that does sound quite nice. Places them on my eye. I'm like, okay, that's quite nice. And then I think the next part was, he said, I'm now going to give you a head massage with some sandalwood. And I was like, sandalwood, all right, cool. I've never smelt sandalwood.
With sandalwood, is this some kind of oil? Or?
Yeah, it's like an oil.
Okay.
It's like an essential oil, mind you. Mate, I swear I was snoring. I was out. And then next thing you know, I'm being woken up, and then that's
So
the
did
session.
you just fell asleep?
When you say it like that, mate. Okay, I think there's more to it.
Okay.
I think he was giving breathing command. We were working on breathing, mate.
Yep.
And before I knew it, that anxious feeling,
Yeah.
I didn't feel it anymore.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm pretty sure I was awake. I could hear myself snoring though. And then next thing you know, an hour and a half
Okay, so you
was
still
up.
felt like you were conscious through it.
Yeah, it was a really weird feeling. But when it was done, mate, that anxious feeling had gone, and I felt so loose and like I was in a positive mindset. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
That's not where I was expecting the story to go.
Oh, what do you think? What, I had a good nap and then I felt worse.
Ask for my money back.
Yeah.
People were in the first place in asking for money, but no, I'm kidding, I'm joking.
But mate, no, he was awesome, and
Yeah.
I'm definitely going back and couldn't recommend him enough. So
Wow.
yeah, I think you'd definitely benefit from it.
I think you almost taught me into that. That sounds.
We'll go do it. We'll go do it
Alright,
together.
done.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah. So what the MMA, the jiu-jitsu, meditation, breathing exercises at night. Been doing a lot of them, and mate, that's the kind of stuff that's been helping me as well. So the last couple of days, mate, I felt a lot better.
Yeah.
I'm feeling good.
And
Yeah.
you've been back at work.
Yeah, back at work,
full time
mate.
now.
Yeah, back at work, normal duties. Still going to urgent jobs, and
Yeah. Do you feel like you're chasing it as much?
I think I'm aware now. Like, you know what I mean.
yeah.
I'm aware of, you know, if I do get those feelings, because I naturally, you know, I hear certain jobs come over the radio that I want to go to, like an armed person or something exciting, stolen car. I'm like, oh man, yeah, I've got to get on that. I'll still go to them, but I know that I've got to make sure that for 8 hours I'm able to sustain that, and then go home, turn up to work the next day and do it again.
That's interesting. Like, how many? So, at your peak there, I suppose, when you're really chasing it hard, how many of those kind of jobs could you do on average in a day, and then over the course of a week?
Oh mate, it varies. Like,
obviously it does.
Yeah.
I suppose then, what's like the highest, like, or the most jobs you've kind of done in a day and in a week then?
In a day, mate, of what, like high stress jobs?
Yeah.
Mate, high stress, like really high stress ones, you maybe, if you're lucky, you'll get like one a shift.
Okay.
Really.
Yeah.
But then that's jobs you're getting given to you.
Yeah.
By comms, and you know, there's other stuff you can do. You know, people that are wanted and things like that you can go hunting for.
Okay.
So it's a completely different conversation, but like. I'm aware now that for 8 hours I'm like, all right, you just got to keep yourself at a decent level and be able to sustain it for 8 hours, and then do it the next day and however many shifts you got. But yeah, I've been back. My first shift back, I had first or second shift back, I had like a pretty hectic job, and I remember thinking, fuck, just my luck. I come back.
So all that meditation.
I was like, it was alright. At the end of the day, it was alright. It's just part of the job. So and I know that, man, there's so many other coppers, emergency services, guys and girls out there that are feeling the exact same thing. Because that's
part and parcel.
Yeah, that's it, mate. That's you're a first responder. That's what it's going to be like. You're gonna, especially with shift work, man, you're gonna have peaks and troughs. Like with a police officer, you never know what you're gonna get. You can be doing, having a coffee with your partner, and then next thing you know, you're racing off to some urgent job, deal with that, and then the adrenaline drops off and you're back to doing something normal, and the adrenaline spikes again. So you're all over the place. So I can understand how I kind of got burnt out when you look at everything else that was going on in my life at the time, and just how much pressure I was putting on myself to achieve everything and get myself better and be okay. So
yeah,
yeah,
and like obviously, like your separation, that's still pretty fresh. But I suppose like from what you've told me about it, it's been pretty amenable, like between the pair of you. Is like it's still going like fairly well. Like,
yeah. Well, but yeah, mate, it could be much worse. Well, the stuff we see in our job with
TVs,
yeah, as in relationships, breakups and stuff. Like it could be worse. So all that is okay. But at the moment, it's just the work burnout was probably the last thing that I struggle with. But like I said, I'm on the right track now, and doing this helps, as we know. Yeah, it just took us a long time
to get back to it. Yeah, it's quite frustrating how it doesn't take much, I suppose, to set you off again and put you back in one of those lows where you struggle to get out of bed, leave the house, and deal with anyone or anyone else's bullshit.
Yeah, well, it's just one of them things, like, and we've talked about it in other episodes, where the main stuff we were dealing with then was, which at the time we thought was our biggest drama. With mental health and depression, was the identity stuff from the army.
Yeah.
Fuck, that feels like nothing compared to the stuff I've been through in the last few months.
Because you definitely like being married with a kid, like all of a sudden you're responsible for another human being's life.
Exactly.
So on top of dealing with your own shit, trying to like make sure your son's getting everything he needs.
Yep. But this last low was worse than anything I've had before. Yeah. So it's been fucked. But hey, what do you do? I'm still here, mate.
What's the worst?
What's the worst that could happen, Shane?
How is if you don't mind, like, how is Boston travelling?
He's good.
Do you reckon he understands what's going on?
Hard to say, man.
He's just over 2?
Yeah, just over 2 now. Yeah. He's still a happy boy, Yeah. No matter where he is, what house he's at, he's extremely happy boy. Mate, there's not much else to say really on that. He's still so young. Yeah. But, no matter what house he's at, he's loved, and mate, it's good. It's going well. It's okay.
That's sweet. That's good to hear.
Yeah. But what about your stuff? Because you fucking...
Oh, mate.
You called me, was it a week ago? 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, I think so.
And
was that just before I went on leave?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so I guess so it pretty much all come down to drinking, really, and I guess I started stretching the truth a little bit in order to start trying to get myself medically upgraded at work again, so I could hurry up and start, getting back to work and not have all these bloody chits and whatnot restricting me.
Because it's been a while since we recorded. I remember you brought this up maybe on one of our last episodes. You got like medically downgraded.
Yeah.
Can you remember when?
That was like fucking April. Yeah, it got downgraded from J1 to J3. So
you no handling weapons.
No handling weapons, no ammunition, no explosives, and no driving ADF vehicles.
Yep. And you're a soldier, and you're meant to do all those things.
Well, the unit that I'm at now we specifically deal with explosives, so that's our main function.
Yeah. So you've been restricted for that whole time?
Well, I was initially for a couple of months.
Yep.
And again, like stretching that truth a little bit, because I was kind of forced, and it was a good thing that I was forced into seeing a psychiatrist. So I convinced him, I know for a fact I'm not a threat to anyone or really myself.
Yep.
And I'd never do anything that would put anyone else in harm's way. So convinced the psych that I'm in a pretty good place and that's not going to happen, and he agreed. So he sent the MO a bit of a letter saying, look, I think that he's fine, even despite being on medication, he's fine to engage in those activities. And so the MO, I'd have to go back every month, and she'd essentially write a chit that would enable me to do all those things that my downgrade said I wasn't able to do. So I was able to do everything again. I just had to get that chit once a month to allow me to do that. And I think I started pushing myself was very similar to yourself. Stretching myself out a bit and pushing myself a bit too hard at work, and naturally fell back on my main coping mechanism, which is drinking, and
which we've always known. And
yeah.
Since I've known you, like, that's always been a thing. And
Yeah.
anytime you got too pissed or whatever, like, if it's not me, it's one of the other boys, and we kind of mention it to you, hey, fucking drink a fair bit, man.
Yeah.
Like, and I think, again, we've spoke about it in other episodes where after our deployment, the mornings I was coming to work, I'd come up to your room,
Yeah.
bottle of empty Jamesons there, would literally have to drag you into the shower,
Yeah.
shave you, get you ready,
Yeah.
and walk you down to start work.
Yeah. And it's not good. I mean, like, I still look back on that, like, and it's weird, like, with a sense of pride that I was still able to do my job and outperform people at PT and still, like, be hungover as fuck. Like,
Well, I always thought that was impressive.
yeah, but I mean, it's not a good way to think about it.
Yeah.
And
that was the culture, though.
yeah,
That we had at the time.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah, absolutely. And it all kind of came to a head at a Christmas party that I was at with some friends, and the night before I'd had a few beers, and then after I got home, I bought a bowl of Jamesons, and I had 3/4 of that. And then the next day was the Christmas function,
Yeah.
and I didn't want to be hungover for it. So as soon as I woke up, I started drinking again, and I finished off the rest of the Jamesons throughout the day. And I think we started drinking around 2:00 in the Arvo,
Yeah.
and yeah, probably had about, I don't know, from a 6-pack there. Went out, I don't know, fucking 25, 30 rums, and
Jesus.
yeah, it was. And the good thing was, though,
And I know that's not really an over-exaggeration. That's what's fucking scary about
yeah.
it.
And then normally I, get shit-faced and would turn into a bit of a dick and whatnot. And,
Yep.
but I actually was quite well behaved, and it was a really good night. I had a great time. And we ended up going to the casino, and then I couldn't handle being around people anymore, and I was going to meet up with a few other boys at a different place, and I was walking over there, and I had to cut through this park, and I don't know why, but I just started fucking crying, and I was like, what the fuck is going on? This is weird as shit, and just kept walking, and thinking, okay, this is weird, and ended up in this denser part of the garden, and then kind of sat down for a minute trying to work out what the fuck was going on, because I'd had such a good night, I hadn't embarrassed myself or anything like that, and it just kept getting worse and worse, and so I crawled into the garden, and I was laying so I was just in a garden. I didn't really want to deal with life anymore, let's say.
Yep.
So I ended up calling my partner, and I think what it come down to was, for the months leading up to that, I started doing something I'd never done before, which was hiding my drinking from everyone, because it was getting, obviously, because I was meant to be cutting back, because it's contributing to my depression and whatnot.
Yep.
Meant to be cutting back, but overexerting myself, using it to cope. Madison was starting to see it a lot more, so I'd have beers, and then because she wouldn't get home till late, I'd only tell her I'd had a few, or and then once she went to bed, I was like, oh, I'll come in later, and then I'd have more while she wasn't there, and I was just lying, hiding the bottles and things like that. So I think that had a lot to do with the breakdown, because it was the first time I'd been lying. I had to hide my drinking.
Yeah.
And I fessed that up to her. And from there, I kind of had a choice, and because she hadn't even really told her family either, so no one knew what was going on except for her, and she had to kind of deal with that on her own, because she didn't want to, tell her family what was going on either. And so I said to her, look, you're going to have to tell your family, I'm going to have to tell mine, and I'm going to have to go and tell the psych and the MO, which ended up doing, and it's probably the best thing I ever did, because now I'm accountable to a lot more people.
Yeah, well, which I'm glad, because when it was just kind of our small group that would see you pissed, and we'd tell you, we knew it wasn't going to change anything. So now that everyone at work knows, Madison knows, your family knows, her family knows, it's
I
where are
can't.
you going to hide it now?
Yeah, I can't.
Because I know, she's contacted me in the past where, because I live out of Ipswich.
Yeah.
You live way north Brizzy, so we rarely do we get to see each other. So we'll contact each other every couple of weeks, maybe through text or phone call. But most of the time, I don't know what you're doing on weekends and stuff, and I'll like wake up to a text, or Madison will text me just saying, "Hey, have you seen Shane or heard from Shane?" And I'm like, "Oh fuck, what's he done now?" Like, 'cause she hasn't heard from you all night.
Yeah,
you'll go out drinking and then just keep drinking, and she
that's it.
know
I'd go to other boys' houses, and because
Yep.
I know she can get home to 7:30, so I'd get on the piss with them, and then take a few beers home with me, hide the cans before she get home, and like. So long as I was jovial enough and was having fun, so to speak. She's not stupid. She could tell like I'd had a few, but she never knew the extent of it. And the worst thing was I was getting really good at hiding. I swear there's a few times where like if I was at home and you'd call me, I can't remember what stage of last year it was, but you'd be waiting to go in to see your psychologist. And you'd call me, and I'd swear I'm like. Shane's fucking drunk while he's talking to me. Not drunk, but I was having beers before going to it.
Yeah, beers before going to see your psych. And I never really said anything. I'm like, oh yeah, what have you been doing before this, mate? Oh, nothing, I'm just finished work, I'm just sitting in the car park talking to you, having a smoke. And I'm like, okay, you sound pretty happy.
Yeah, really chipper. And that's the hardest thing, like, because I've cut right back now. I mean, from, I think it was the 18th when I fessed up to everyone, I didn't have a drink until the 23rd. I went out to my brother's with my partner and one of our mates, and I had 2 beers, went home, and I think the next day I had 4 beers. I was caught up with all my family, and then Christmas I had another 4 beers, and then that's been it over that since the 18th till now, which it's been a long time. So I think Afghanistan is probably like that's the longest I've ever been sober. But oh shit, I've forgotten what. Sorry, what you were.
Well, look, you asked me a very similar question. What have you found other things to distract yourself? Because as we know, when you're in the army, there's that culture. You finish work, and the first thing everyone wants to do is go have drinks. You're hanging out with each other, you're drinking pretty much all the time. So if you're surrounded by that,
strategy number 1.
What have you got?
Fucking leave work as quickly as possible. That hasn't been an issue since I've been on holidays now since the 21st. So it's been a bit shit, like having to avoid social functions and whatnot, just because I know I've got to keep myself away from those temptations. But other than that, like I've been getting brought into my gardening. Funnily enough, like. I've spent like 3 hours just on my lawn picking out weeds, like on my hands and knees, like, and it's great because it's like Zen, like it's almost like meditation.
Fuck, you really are dying inside, aren't you?
No, it's good. So I've just been pottering in the garden, cutting out a fuck ton of. You ever heard of yuccas? You know what yuccas are?
Yeah, man, I know what yuccas are.
They are the most annoying fucking plants in the world, and why anyone would plant 20 of them in a narrow little garden bed that over...
I really don't know what yuccas are, so...
Mate, they're these ferns that are spiky as fuck, and they'd grown out like 2 foot over the garden area, so every time you went to mow it, you had to kind of hold the side of a fucking mower and like try and push it, but it was shit anyway.
You sound like you need a drink, mate.
Shut up, Cam. No, and it's coincidentally, like my brother, he owns his own house now, and he's been getting right into his gardening. So now we've got something more in common, like talking about planning. And then my mum's been seeing this guy now for I think 4 or 5 months, and he's a horticulturist. So like he's been dropping off bell peppers and bird's eye chilies and whatnot.
You're right into it, eh?
Yeah, man, it's been good. Like I had to, because I've got a Subaru Forester, so it's not really ideal for filling with mulch. So I put a few tarps in the back of the car, and I literally filled it up to the brim with all this mulch, and then drove it into the backyard and unloaded that all into the garden. So yeah, it's really kept me busy, man. And it's been good, like actually being outside as well, instead of sitting inside and like looking at shit on YouTube or playing video games. You know, it gives you more of an opportunity to dwell on shit. Like whereas being outside, you're seeing something kind of come to fruition. Like you're
creating something.
You're creating something.
And you're out in the sun, mate, as well. Rather than being cooped up in,
exactly.
video games.
And like, what did I do today? I went down to the local dump and went through the treasure market, and
Oh yeah, what'd you
Oh
find?
mate, there's some gems in there actually. Like there's a lot of steel because I want to make a heave beam up in the back, and
Yep.
I just need to get myself a cheap welder now. So yeah, there's a few little projects and whatnot. I didn't end up picking anything up today, but someone had left a pallet in the fucking.
Is that the one out the backyard?
Yeah, yeah.
I
Because I'm making that into a little flower pot holder.
Look at you guys.
Yeah, mate.
Jesus.
But it was just lying in the parking lot off to the side. But I noticed they were selling them this side for however much. So I was like, just had a quick look around. I was looking, so I quickly threw it in the back of my car and took off.
Okay, so you're telling a police officer you stole some property, is what you're telling me?
Look, mate, it didn't have a for sale sign on it. It wasn't in. So possession 9/10 of the law. If watching SVU has taught me anything.
Yeah, look, I'm not. Yeah, okay, I'll go with that. I'll go with that now. It's not my division, so I don't care. But, so,
This isn't even your jurisdiction,
Yeah,
mate, so
yeah,
fuck off.
oh, fuck, I forgot what I was going to ask you. Okay, so you got the gardening thing going. I was going to say since you've come out, but that's not the right terminology. We're still waiting on that.
Well,
one.
Mum keeps bringing that up. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not even sure, mate. Madison's even here, mate.
You haven't seen her.
I haven't seen her.
No, she left a while ago.
Have you hung out with your family much? Because I remember back in the day, anytime you'd go to Harvey Bay, it'd be like you'd be drinking all the time. I know you said you had like 4 beers and stuff. Does your brother still drink a fair bit?
Yeah.
Okay, stupid question.
Like a fucking fish. Yeah.
So have you hung out with him much since? All this stuff?
No, so I only went back for 5 days.
Yep.
And yeah, we spent probably 4 hours that first night with him, and I'd have a beer, then I had the soda water, and I'd just sit on the soda water for ages, then I had another beer, and then I was just sitting on soda water for the rest of the night. But then the rest of the time we'd end up at my grandmother's place at a pool, so I didn't really want to fucking talk to anyone either, so I stayed in the pool and I just play with my nephews and nieces and kind of kept away from everyone. So not really, no, because so much because they're all publicans as well, so they run pubs and shit. Yeah. So right. They're all not big heavy drinkers, but they all enjoy a drink, and yeah, it's the first time I've had to go to one of my family functions and remain sober, and fuck me, it's boring.
And what are you gonna do like after leave? You go back to the unit and you'll be surrounded by that culture again.
Well,
obviously everyone at the unit knows.
You can't
be drinking.
Well, because what they're doing is they're putting me into a different troop now, where it's basically there's only a couple of us in it, like a warrant officer and a corporal, both EOD techs, and they essentially run the training aspect of the unit. So they're putting me in there with them. So I'll still be able to learn and learn more about the job and whatnot, but I won't be in a team where potentially going outfield constantly and whatnot, obviously, because I've got so many fucking appointments and
So what's the process for like the rehab part of this now?
Well, initially, because it had gotten so bad, I'd actually been talking to another friend who actually tried to neck himself. Why do I laugh when I say that?
You're a horrible person.
Yes,
that's
this is true. No, it didn't happen, so we can all have a laugh now. That's fine. No, yes, but all seriousness, so he tried, and he similar thing. Issues with alcohol.
He's in your unit?
No. So I caught up with him, and he was actually going through the process of going to an inpatient at a hospital for alcohol rehabilitation. And from the people that he'd met and talked to, had gone through them before, he was really keen to do it, and he was quite positive that he would get a good outcome from it from the people who had gone through before. So I was, from when I talked to him, they're like, okay, what are your plans? Like, what's your thought process from here? And I was like, well, look, I want to try and beat it on my own, but obviously if I can't do that, then I'm quite open to going to an inpatient and going through that process. But so I'm waiting to go to a specialist who kind of deals with that stuff, and based on his recommendation, see what happens. But things have been chugging along pretty well. It's not as hard as I thought it was going to be.
Yep.
It's fucking shit, but fuck me, because Madison hid. I knew I had a bottle of, there was a bit of Jemisin's left in the cupboard. I fucking knew it was there. And I come home one day and it was gone. I was like, oh, maybe I did drink that. Who fucking knows? I probably did. And she always hides the alcohol in the same place. And she doesn't really hide it. She just puts it in the top shelf of the cupboard in the laundry. So I was going to get some tools out. And there it was. I'm like, oh, I fucking knew that was in the house. And I saw it and I was on leave, but I was like, I had no reason to. I was busy doing gardening or something. I was like, fuck, I want to start drinking that. And I was like, nah, just leave it.
What'd you do with it?
I left it.
Yep. Is it still here?
No, I drank it another night.
Oh, for fuck's sake. I thought that story was going to have an empowering ending. I tipped it down the drain.
When did I drink it? No, because it wasn't that much left. I think I had two. There was enough to have 2 short glasses left. So, I didn't get pissed off of it, but I thought, look, I'm not going to... There's a special place in hell for people who waste good whiskey, mate.
Yep, we have always said that.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's a giant pain in the ass, really.
And
Frank,
you may, mate. It's a Maladjusted Monkeys podcast. You say what the fuck you want. Smoking.
Oh,
have you ever smoked it? Because you've got that fucking vape thing.
Yeah.
Are you smoking? Because you went outside before.
Yeah, I had a smoke.
Oh, you did?
Yeah,
okay.
So I am still smoking, and I'm vaping.
Okay.
So I initially got the douche flute to try and...
Is that what they're called?
Yeah, that's the technical term.
Give me a go at this thing.
Douche flute.
What do you do?
So there's a button on the back here, that one there.
Yep.
So just hold that in and suck away.
Oh, fuck, it smells like the smoke. You know what I say so? The smoke machine at a blue light disco.
Oh god, that's disgusting.
Do you remember that? Yeah.
Yeah, well, I don't have taste buds anymore. So.
I'd rather have a smoke. Oh, that's fucking awful, man.
I was about to tell you, don't just have a little bit because it takes a little bit to get used to.
Let me try that again. That's fucking embarrassing. Oh, fuck. No, that tastes like shit, man. Why do you do that to yourself? God, can you smoke ice or something, mate? Because that's fucking terrible.
Well, Madison gets the shits if I smoke all the time because I stink of smoke. So I smoke this a majority of the time, and then when I'm at work, I'll normally just smoke cigarettes.
Okay.
Look, I don't know. I'm a fuckwit. What can I say?
Hey, one problem at a time.
Exactly, mate.
One problem at a time.
Yeah, if I could either not smoke and drink. No, that would never happen, actually. Because, God, they just go hand in hand.
God, don't they? Let's have a drink.
Oh, what it's no. I lost my train of thought with that now. Yeah, so no, I still smoking. It was originally just to get off the smokes, but the hardest part is normally when I come home, I don't smoke at all, like cigarettes, and I hardly do that. But at work, because everyone else smokes, it's just a social thing as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what's been going on with me, and it's really frustrating that when you do get into those lows, and I know it's been the same for you, and you just can't even summon the fucking energy to reply to something as simple as a fucking text. And
it's good.
Riles and Curto, if you're listening,
Riles, you're a saint, mate. Because
we apologise.
Oh yeah, well, Riles come around one day. Couple months ago.
Just for not replying to the group chat because.
Oh yeah, we got a group chat with the boys, and I'm pretty bad with replying, especially when, like you said, when you hit them lows, you just don't want to be social. It just feels like a lot of energy to be joining in and being jovial. Even though I know all they want is just hey, I'm all good.
Yeah.
But I remember Riles a couple months ago. He just rang me one afternoon. He said, "What are you up to?" I'm like, "Nothing, I'm just at home." He's like, "Cool, I'm popping around." I'm like, "Okay." Popped around with a 6-pack, and he's like, "Yeah, I got your present as well." And it was like a tactical box with a brand new blade in it, torch.
Holy shit!
Fucking Leatherman. Yeah, he's like, "There you go."
Fuck you, Ross. Where's my fucking tactical box?
I shouldn't have told you that.
Take that all back now.
So I was thinking like that, to make the effort for him to come out. I was like, okay, that's a big thing. I've got to make more of an effort. And you and me say that to each other all the time. I've got to make more of a fucking effort. But yeah, like we said, when you hit those lows, you just don't want to be social.
Yeah. But I mean, sometimes, and you don't even, because I'm the same, if you know, if one of you boys was having a down day, like, well, like I think I was telling you earlier, like I text one of our old friends last night, and I don't respect a reply because fucked if I actually know what's been going on with him because
I don't think
we haven't
knows.
spoken in a long time. But didn't expect it, but or I'm happy if he doesn't. But I just wanted him to know, I'm still thinking about you, man. So it's not always that. I think sometimes you think that like, if people are doing things for you, you have to reciprocate it.
Yeah.
And that's like part of it. So if you don't engage at all, then you don't have to reciprocate any interaction. But yeah, like it's good to know that I think we have to keep reminding ourselves that if the boys are doing that and they just want to fucking have a quick chat, like they can leave it at that. They're not going to sit there and no, talk to me, cunt.
Yeah.
What's wrong with you? Yeah, tell me.
Yeah, all I want is just
yeah.
And Riles is good at trying to touch base with everyone. So,
Yeah.
Riles, if you're listening, mate, you're a fucking legend. Thank you.
Nah.
I'll make more of an effort. But
Nah.
you're dead to Cluppy, obviously, because he didn't get any tact yet. Mate, you couldn't even come around anyway. We're having beers. You can't fucking drink, you know that.
Oh, this was before that, mate.
Yeah, it was before that, yeah.
Yeah, nice try.
Well, mate, that's I think that's a good wrap for our first episode of 2019.
A quick catch up.
I think a promise we're making is we're going to do more of these now. We've had our moments to feel sorry for ourselves the last few months, and promise to do more of these catch up, have more guests on, and really get back into the podcasting stuff because we enjoy it. And this, I always feel better after.
100%. Like, just pull our heads out of our asses.
I know. Well, the problem is I live in Ipswich and you live... what suburb are we in?
North Lakes.
Fucking hell, it took me like 40 minutes to get here from work.
Yeah, well, that's all it takes to get to work, so...
Yeah, fuck that.
Feel my pain.
I do.
Anyway,
well, good to be back, mate. And let's see where the rest of the year takes us, hey?
let's keep it rolling.
Let's keep it rolling. Maladjusted Monkeys, out.